Good morning. Let's start with prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we are so thankful for this day. We're thankful that we get to come before Thee and start our day with Thee. We're thankful for our team and the amazing people in it that are working hard for their goals. We pray that Thou help us every day to know what to do, that we can start with prayer and be able to have clarity and who to reach out to, and that we can be able to get into action every single day, and that we can find those who this will bless their lives. We are thankful for the amazing people who have been inspired to write books that can help us with our personal development, and we pray that we can be able to understand what we read and that that will magnify it in our minds, that we will be able to apply it. We're thankful for prayer, and we're thankful for our community. We pray for Thy Spirit to with us this day. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen. Okay, open my eyes. Excuse me. We are on page 217. We're in the law of modeling still. And let's start the timer. Okay, number 5. A good mentor provides friendship and support. The first question most followers ask of a mentor is, do you care for me? The reason for this question is obvious. Who wants to be guided by a person who isn't interested in them? Selfish people will assist you only insofar as it advances their own agenda. Good mentors provide friendship and support, unselfishly working to help you reach your potential. Their mindset is well expressed by business coach and author James C. Vuokolo, who says, "Great things happen whenever we stop seeing ourselves as God's gift to others and begin seeing others as God's gift to us." One evening, I was enjoying dinner with the former CEO of Girl Scouts, Frances Hesselbein, and author Jim Collins. Both were mentored by Peter Drucker, often called the father of modern management. I had met Drucker and learned from him, but they had enjoyed a long-term relationship with him and had known him well. I asked them what they had learned from him, and their responses focused on the friendship of the man more than the wisdom of the expert. What Jim Collins told me that night is expressed very succinctly in an article he wrote after Drucker's death. But for me, Drucker's most important lessons cannot be found in any text or lecture, but in the example of his life. I made a personal pilgrimage to Claremont, California in 1994, seeking wisdom from the greatest management thinker of our age, and I came away feeling that I had met a compassionate I think it's supposed to be met that I had met a compassionate and generous human being who, almost as a side benefit, was a prolific genius. We have lost not a guru on a pedestal, but a beloved professor who welcomed students into his modest home for warm and stimulating conversation. Peter F. Drucker was driven not by the desire to say something, but the desire to learn something from every student he met, and that is why he became one of the most influential teachers most of us have ever known. If the person who offers to mentor you doesn't really support you and offer you friendship, then the relationship will always fall short of your expectations. Knowledge without support is sterile. Advice without friendship feels cold. Candor without care is harsh. However, when you are being helped by someone who cares for you, it is emotionally satisfying. Growth comes from both the head and the heart. Only supportive people are willing to share both with you. Number 6, a good mentor is a coach who makes a difference in people's lives. A major theme in my life is the desire to add value to people and make a difference in their lives. One of the ways I do that is by mentoring people, but my time is so limited that I can mentor only a very few. This has caused frustration for me and for the many people who ask me to coach them or train them to coach others. To my delight, I finally have a solution to this problem. In 2011, some friends helped me to create a coaching company called the John Maxwell Team. It has become one of the most fulfilling make a difference commitments because it enables me to add value to many people by helping to train and certify coaches who teach my principles. Together, we are making a difference in people's lives. I love the word coach. I read in my friend Kevin Hall's book, Aspire, that the word derives from the horse drawn coaches that were developed in the town of Cox during the 15th century. The vehicles were originally used to transport royalty, but in time they also carried valuables, mail, and common passengers. As Kevin remarks, a coach remains something or someone who carries a valued person from where they are to where they want to be. So if you had a coach, you knew you would end up at your desired destination. In a piece called A Coach by Any Other Name, Kevin goes on to describe what it means to be a coach. He writes, in other cultures and languages, coaches are known by many different names and titles. In Japan, a sensei is one who has gone farther down the path. In martial arts, it is the designation for master. In Sanskrit, a guru is one with great knowledge and wisdom. Gu means darkness, and Ru means light. A guru takes someone from darkness into the light. Ooh, that's cool. In Tibet, a lama is one with spirituality and authority to teach. In Tibetan Buddhism, the Dalai Lama is the highest ranking teacher. In Italy, a maestro is a master teacher of music. It is short for maestro de capella, meaning master of the chapel. In France, a tutor is a private teacher. The term dates to the 14th century and refers to one who served as a watchman. In England, a guide is one who knows and shows the way. It denotes the ability to see and point out the better course. In Greece, a mentor is a wise and trusted advisor. In the Odyssey, Homer's mentor was a protective and supportive counselor. All these words describe the same role, one who goes before and shows the way. No matter what word you use to describe them, coaches make a difference in others' lives. They help them grow. They improve their potential. They increase their productivity. They are essential to helping people effect positive change. As my friend Andy Stanley says in The Next Generation Leader, you will never maximize your potential in any area without coaching. It is impossible. You may be good. You may be even better than everyone else, but without outside input, you will never be as good as you could be. We all do better when somebody is watching and evaluating. Self-evaluation is helpful, but evaluation from someone else is essential. In my opinion, good coaches share 5 common characteristics. They so they're spelling out coach. Care for the people they coach. Observe their attitudes, behavior, and performance. Align them with their strengths for peak performance. Communicate and give feedback about their performance. And help them to improve their lives and performance. I have benefited from hundreds of people over the years who have modeled personal growth, mentored me from their successes, and coached me to better performance. By using these 5 characteristics, I am indebted to them. The process of growing with the help of a mentor usually follows this pattern. It begins with awareness. You realize that you need help and that following yourself is not a viable option for effective personal growth. I was fortunate to come to this realization early in my career. I recognized that I had no experience, no exposure, and no strong models within my circles to help me develop my potential. When a person comes to such a realization, one of 2 things can happen. The first is that the person's pride swells up and he cannot bring himself to ask another person for advice. This is a common reaction. In his book, The Corporate Steeplechase, psychologist Sruli Blotnick says that people in their 20s starting their careers tend to be ashamed to ask questions. When they reach their 30s, their desire to be individualistic makes it difficult for them to seek counsel from colleagues. That can definitely work against them. To keep from looking ignorant, they almost ensure their own ignorance. The other reaction to awareness is to humble yourself and say, I need your help. That decision not only leads to greater knowledge, but it also often develops maturity. It reinforces that people need one another, not just when they're young and starting out, but their entire lives. As Chuck Swindoll so eloquently says in his book, The Finishing Touch, nobody is a whole chain. Each one is a link. But take away one link and the chain is broken. Nobody is a whole team. Each one is a player. But take away one player and the game is forfeited. Nobody is a whole orchestra. Each one is a musician. But take away one musician and the symphony is incomplete. You guessed it. We need each other. You need someone, and someone needs you. Isolated islands or not. To make this thing called life work, we gotta lean and support, and relate and respond, and give and take, and confess and forgive, and reach out and embrace, and release and rely. Since none of us is a whole, independent, self sufficient, super capable, all powerful hotshot, let's quit acting like we are. Life's lonely enough without our playing that silly role. The game's over. Let's link up. I feel like this totally relates to our business because we think we're like, oh, I need to do this, and this for my team. Like, it's my responsibility. But we're a team. Like, I rely on Emily. You guys need to rely on me. Like, we all need to rely and work together. As I look back over my life, I recognize that the greatest assets of my growth journey were people. But then again, so were the greatest liabilities. The people you follow, the models you emulate, the mentors you take advice from help to shape you. If you spend your time with people who subtract from you, who belittle you, or undervalue you, then every step forward that you attempt to take will be difficult. But if you find wise leaders, good role models, and positive friends, you will find that they speed you on your journey. I've been fortunate to have many fantastic mentors during the course of my life. The first models were my parents, Melvin and Laura Maxwell. From them, I learned integrity and unconditional love. Elmer Towns. Okay, I'm just gonna finish the chapter real quick. It's almost done. Well, I'll save the application for tomorrow. Okay. Elmer Towns and Zig Ziglar were two of the people I first learned from outside of the small circle I grew up in. Elmer was the first to teach me about growing my church. Zig was the first personal growth speaker I followed. Both became good friends. Tom Philippe and my brother Larry Maxwell mentored me in business. Les Staub helped me learn how to write my first book. Peter Drucker opened my eyes to the importance of developing people to the level where they could replace me. Fred Smith helped me to fine tune my leadership skills. Bill Bright showed me the impact that business thinkers can have on the world of faith. John Wooden taught me how to be a better man. No matter who you are, what you have accomplished, how low or how high your life has taken you, you can benefit from having a mentor. If you've never had one, you have no idea how much it can improve your life. If you have had mentors, then you already know you should start passing it on by become sorry, and you should start passing it on by becoming passing it on by becoming a mentor to others because you know that it's hard to improve when you have no one but yourself to follow. That seems like a pretty important chapter. Okay. I feel like he preaches modeling a lot. That's like one of his main things. So good.